Today we're going to learn about hunter-gatherers. The first thing we're going to learn about is the Paleolithic Age. This is the earliest period of human history, and that was the Stone Age. Paleolithic means Old Stone Age. So the Paleolithic Age means the Old Stone Age, Stone Age. This began about 2.5 million years ago and lasted until about 8000 BC. And as you see, I have the Flintstones down here. Just want to let you know, sorry guys, but dinosaurs did not exist with the humans, so Dino probably wasn't there. I don't know if they had that cool jewelry either, but why not? So surviving the Paleolithic Age, people were nomads. Nomads are people who move from place to place to survive, usually chasing food. Now, when I was a 6th grader, I had a dear friend named David who would not sit in his assigned seat, and he would move around from seat to seat every day, displacing whoever was usually there. He got the nickname David the Nomad. So when you think of nomads, it's that person in class who can't sit in their assigned seat and moves around. The nomads did that too. Now, when they were chasing food, the men usually hunted large animals with clubs and small weapons, and women usually stayed home closer to camp, gathering food and water and tending to the children. Please note that I said usually. These roles were not clearly defined. Sometimes men stayed at home, particularly if they were injured, or they just didn't feel like going out to the hunt that day, and sometimes women did go out and hunt the animals. Because they had equal parts in food gathering and hunting, they had equal relationships between men and women. Both decided what was best for the camp. Now, they also had tools. They had technology. In history class, though, technology, we do use the internet, we do use iPads, but technology also means tools and methods used to perform a task. So the weapons and tools were improved and became increasingly more complex. They had arrows, harpoons, fish hooks, shovels, sewing needles, and animal hide shelters, and those are all common. The technology was able to help them kill bigger animals. Sometimes, though, they did things like throw them off cliffs and then pick up the carcass afterwards. If you've seen cave paintings, sometimes they'll show that. They also had to change to survive, and they had fire. As time went on, early humans learned how to survive. They created their own shelters out of wood and natural resources. In the beginning, they would just find caves, but caves aren't everywhere. There are no caves that I see in Orlando right now. They had to build their own shelters. And fire, while caused by lightning, eventually became known by using flint and friction. You rub something together hard enough, you might get fire. This became used for cooked food, and that became the norm. Also for lighting. That's important. You want to be able to see where you're going. Yes, they probably had pigs. Yum. They also had language and art. They used basic sounds and gestures to communicate, and eventually a language was formed. You point to something long enough and call it something, it's going to be called that word. They also had art. Cave paintings are found almost everywhere around the globe. Those paintings shared what their life was like back then. That's how we knew they threw animals off cliffs or chased them till they fell off. That's how we knew what kind of animals were back there. In addition to finding fossils and skeletal remains, we have paintings of them. Finally, there's the Ice Age. Similar to the movie, the Ice Age impacted human development, making it really hard to survive in the cold. No, there were no talking animals. Humans barely talked themselves, so no, there were no talking animals. But they had to learn to use the animal fur to make warmer clothing and build bigger and stronger shelters. This lasted 9,000 years. So I guess this 3-minute and 52-second PowerPoint doesn't seem nearly as long. And now you know about the hunter-gatherers.